Ladies and gentlemen, as ARSO GoodWill Ambassador, it gives me great pleasure to be addressing the European Development Days Conference 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, according to the World Bank, the global GDP growth is expected to be around 3.5% in 2018. The emerging markets and developing economies, including the ACP regions, should also be experiencing economic growth and are expected to play a crucial role as investment destinations. Sustained economic growth in the ACP member states has heightened global interest in the ACP group and has caught the imagination of the world in recent times as potentially prosperous parts of the world with great impressive economic potential. A common objective thus unites the 79 ACP, African, Caribbean, and Pacific countries to promote international trade to further integrate the global economy and ensure sustainable development. Most of the Caribbean countries, except for Haiti, have reached middle or high income status, and this success is attributed to the services industry. Pacific states are experiencing varied economic development, but the major constraint remains their size and geography. They are increasingly exploring their ocean-based resources to spur growth. Africa remains the world's second fastest growing economy after East Asia, and according to the IMF, 11 of the 20 fastest growing economies in the world through to 2020 will be African. There are several factors that would explain and underpin these success stories. 1. Demographic dividend with promising trained labor and a relatively large consumer market. It is estimated that by 2030, African countries could contribute 10 to 15% of gross GDP volume growth. 2. Thriving entrepreneurship and the ever-expanding opportunities to do business in the region and to continue to bring forth innovative solutions. 3. As emerging middle class of urban consumers of 375 million in 2013, which is expected to reach more than 500 million in 2030. 4. Enormous mineral resources, as well as a diverse biodiversity. Africa is home to a quarter of the world's mammal species, a fifth of the world's bird species, and between 40,000 to 60,000 plant species, 10% of the global reserve of oil, 40% of gold, and 80 to 90% of chrome platinum group metals as per the African Development Bank data. 5. Large-scale and vast land areas that span over 500 million hectares of the world's arable land, and yet that only produces around 9% of the global agricultural output. Ladies and gentlemen, the ACP region is, however, confronted with a major paradox. Whilst the economic development of the ACP economies is moving forward slowly but surely, they are challenged by unemployment and poverty, gender inequality, and non-inclusive development, structural and infrastructural constraints, a low manufacturing and industrial capacity, low agricultural productivity, and low intra-ACP trade, intra-African trade, low value addition, and poor diversification of their exports. One must not also forget the critical impact of climate change on these regions, threatening their resources, environment, and livelihoods. This is yet another reason to promote and to tap into African renewable energy potential. Exports from ACP countries have also to face poorly developed trade facilitation programs, technical barriers to trade, as well as uncertainties regarding new trading opportunities and stimulus that could be expected from the WTO Doha round of negotiations, the EPA negotiations, and ACP states' regional economic integration processes. These are some of the daunting challenges that ACP states have and will have to confront to be able to harness the investment opportunities that will empower them and ease their integration into the global trading system. Meaningful intra-ACP trade opportunities need to be developed and consolidated where they already exist. To achieve this, the ACP economies must keep on their diversification process. One of the areas of focus would be agribusiness for small-scale farmers through improved productivity and processing. It is thus clear that mastery of technology and innovation is a must, along with the training of the human capital that ensures gender mainstreaming. If agriculture is developed properly, it will address food security and bring millions out of absolute poverty. The agricultural sector has the potential to create jobs through entrepreneurship if they are supported by ICT infrastructure and technology, as well as post-harvest logistics. Export, for its part, will be boosted if there is a reduction of technical barriers to trade, TBT. The establishment of the African Continental Free Trade Area, CFTA, by the indicative date of 2017 is a good start, and the declaration of 2017 as the Year of Quality Infrastructure in Africa by the African Union in 2014 is a positive step in that direction. There is also a need to harmonize the regulatory frameworks and to address non-tariff measures, including customs regimes across borders, to facilitate trade. It is good to highlight that the three ACP continental bodies, ARSO, PASC, and CROSQ, are cooperating through signed MOUs with a view to facilitating trade through the quality infrastructure. It is worth recognizing the strong and evolving relationship between the EU and ACP countries, beginning with the Yaoundé I and Yaoundé II agreements, the successive ACP-EU Lomé conventions, the partnership agreement signed in Cotonou, and the current roadmap 2014 to 2017 agreed at the 4th EU-Africa Summit in 2014. The European Development Days 2017 is meant to offer ACP countries another opportunity to build productive capacity, manage trade policy and negotiations, promote private sector development, and secure a trade-supporting global architecture. The Africa's CFTA is a good starting point, but one must be mindful of the expiry date of the ACP-EU Cotonou Partnership Agreement in early 2020. May we therefore call for a more focused engagement in light of the scheduled negotiations with ACP partners in 2017-2018 to ensure that the benefits of the TradeCom2 program initiative will lead to sustainable economic development and poverty reduction in ACP countries through closer regional integration and increased participation in the global economy. I thank you for your attention.